Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be a tutorial on how to create a fresh face on pale skin and tips on how to make your green eyes pop. So y'all ready? Let's go. So the first order of business before any and every makeup application is moisturizer. This should be applied right after washing your face because this will prep your skin for makeup and ensure that it will last longer and not settle into fine lines and dry patches on your skin. The next product is a primer. Because we are starting with the eyes, I'm putting this primer on the lid to act as a base underneath the eyeshadows that we will apply. If you are not planning to use very many eyeshadows, then this step is skippable. Is that a word? To prevent all of our eyeshadows from creasing, I'm using this concealer by MAC. It's the Pro Longwear. This will provide a nice foundation for all of the eyeshadows and make them more vibrant for a longer period of time. And because I put a little bit too much concealer on, I am using this sculpting brush from Real Techniques to evenly distribute the product on the lid without caking it up too much. The next step is I am going to set the base with a powder. Here I am using a Body Shop Face Press Powder from Body Shop. I feel like I said that already, okay? The point of this is to make sure to take away at the wet and tacky surface and provide a smooth and blendable surface for all of our eyeshadows. For all of our eyeshadows, I will be using this nude palette by Maybelline. It is from Superdrug. Firstly, with this fluffy blending brush, I'm going into a light brown color. When it comes to eyeshadow, you should always start from light to dark colors. This light brown color will serve as our transition color, meaning it will help all of the colors blend together. Focus this on the lid as well as your crease. Using windshield wiper motions, that's just basically like back and forth like I'm doing right here, to evenly distribute the color. Next, with this flat brush, I am using this gold on the lid. To make green eyes pop, you typically want to reach for warm colors like golds or copper tones. And this sparkly color that I chose will enhance Jenny's eye shape and color by giving it a nice pop. With a more precise blending brush, I am reaching for a darker brown, oops, that's my phone, to enhance the crease of the eyes more dramatically. Like I said, we want to build up color going from light to dark, so this dark brown will blend in nicely with the rest of the colors and it will look as natural as possible. I am using the same technique here, windshield wiper motions, mostly in the outer half of her eye. Next, I decided to take a darker gold sparkly color because the previous gold wasn't as intense and didn't show up very nicely and pop as much as I wanted to. Because Jenny's eyes are round, you can get away with putting a darker color on her lid because she is lucky to have that lid space and it will just complement her eye shape very nicely. And after I put the color down with the flat brush, I'm going back with the blending brush to blend out any harsh edges. For a highlight, I'm using Nylon by MAC. You could have just used the light sparkly color that came in the palette, but it didn't occur to me at the time. I'm putting this under her brow to give the illusion of a higher set brow and a more glamorous look. To line Jenny's eyes, I'm using this brown cream shadow stick. Initially, I didn't want to go in with black because brown and earthy tones complement green eyes very nicely and black can be harsh sometimes. I used this stick to line her eyes, but after doing so, I decided to go over the brown stick with a black eyeshadow from the palette. Using this flat definer brush, I am gently dabbing it into the black eyeshadow and then dabbing the brush onto her eyelid. You don't necessarily need this brush, you could just do it with an eyeliner brush or with your finger, but using an eyeshadow instead of an eyeliner is just going to give a much softer look. And now moving on to the face, I'm using this face primer to fill in any pores, fine lines, and to allow the makeup to go on much smoother and last longer. To cover up any redness or discoloration, we are going with this pressed powder to act as the foundation. It is much lighter and easier to apply than a liquid foundation. To achieve maximum coverage, you want to use pouncing and dabbing motions. Do not swipe across the face because this will move the product around and take away from the coverage. To add a slight color back into the face, I am using a very light hand with this NYC bronzer. If you are pale, then definitely beware of orangey and excessively warm toned bronzers. You want to lean towards more cooler bronzers, but if that confuses you, I advise you to stick to blushes and highlighters because it will look the most natural and pretty because it goes hand in hand with your pink undertone skin. Speaking of blush, I am using this L'Oreal Pinky Mauve blush and carefully applying it to the cheeks. Now, there is an art to applying blush, so to make sure I don't put on too much, I am using two brushes. One to apply the blush with and the other one to blend it out on the face. This is an excessive step, not totally necessary. Feel free to just apply it with a fluffy brush, but because this was the first time I was doing Jenny's makeup, I didn't want her to look like a clown, basically. To brighten the under eye area, I decided to go with a brightening powder. This is actually just a stark white eyeshadow that I got from a Benefit palette ages ago. Looking back on it, I wish I would have applied some liquid concealer first and set it with this brightening powder, but again, I wasn't thinking, I was just doing. When I was almost finished with the face, I felt like the eyes could use a little bit more drama, so I decided to line the eyes with this Master Precise liquid eyeliner to thicken the appearance of her lashes. When you're doing your makeup, always put on less, and if you feel like it could still use a bit more zhuzh, then you can always apply some more later, but if you put on too much, it's really hard to take down the intensity. Does that make sense? To brighten and widen the eyes, I'm using this MAC Nylon Shadow again as an inner corner highlight. This is a really cool trick. I advise everybody to do an inner corner highlight. It makes you look totally different and just healthy and alive and youthful, and I love it. For the lower lashes, I'm using the same flat definer brush again. Again, you can just use a normal eyeliner brush, but I'm going back in with this dark brown to put on her lower lashes to tie in together the darkness. Because Jenny's eyes are round, don't be afraid to pull this dark brown further in towards the center of her eye. This will also make her eyes look more finished and tie it together with the darkness on the upper lid nicely. Next thing is mascara. I'm using L'Oreal's Telescopic. Love this mascara. You know what you gotta do. You do you, boo. On the lips, I'm using a lip liner. This is from MAC. It is called Subculture. You could just use any drugstore lip liner. I really like the L'Oreal ones. And as I said in my previous video, this is my favorite makeup thing to do ever, is to line the lips just to naturally define the shape and give the lipstick a nice base to lay on. And then to fill in the lips, I'm using this light pink lipstick by Ted Baker. It doesn't have a name, so I can't tell you what it is, but it's like a sheer pinky chubby lip thing. But you could just use any pink lipstick or lip gloss or whatever you want on the lips. And then the finishing touches, I'm using this highlighter. It is from The Balm called Mary Luminizer. I am putting this on the high points of her cheeks, the tip of her nose, and Cupid's bow, because this just gives a really youthful and healthy glow. For all the girls out there who have pale skin, I recommend this step because it's just an extra touch that will make you look more like just something extra, you know what I'm saying? Like you spent ages on your makeup even if you didn't. And then what's ever left on this blending brush we used in the first step, I'm just putting it on the sides of her nose just to give like a slimmer nose appearance, and also going to put mascara on her lower lashes to complete this look. Okay, you ready?
Yeah. I'm ready. Ooh, I like it.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to come back for more videos. I make videos twice a week, and follow me on Instagram for information about upcoming videos. So, bye.